Good evening, wool gatherers, and welcome to episode 148 of Wanderings and Wool Gathering. I'm your host, Foggy, and on tonight's episode, we are reviewing the latest record from Project Renegade. The album is called Ultra Terra. Probably have heard, if you're paying any attention at all, 3 songs by now. Amazing videos, and this is a group that is kind of flying under the radar right now. They're from Greece. But it's a group that you really should put on your playlist. They are good. They're interesting. They have excellent musicians and an amazing singer. So I'm hoping you guys will check them out after tonight. And we're also going to be answering Metalhead Mundy's challenge of placing songs in movies that already exist. So that should be a fun one. I obviously can't do this on my own. I need him to help me. And who is him? Metalhead Mundy.
Step inside into his mind. It's boyband time. It's
Metalhead Mundy.
Here him is.
Hello, hello.
Good evening.
Well,
Metalhead.
I saw that picture pop up, and I was like, "Oh, this shirt's kind of close to what I was wearing in that picture." It is not the same. I forgot about wearing my Project Renegade shirt, but I'll just if we have, got some interest of maybe somebody coming on the show. If that happens, I'll wear it then.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's the
Love
logo,
that
everybody.
logo. Love that logo.
Me too. They could be on this show as early as Thursday, working with Odie Beats, the drummer, and Mariana. Hopefully they'll be on the show later this week. There's a 7-hour time difference. So we've talked about kicking the show back to 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon so we can accommodate them. And it looks like on their end, Thursday might be good. So hopefully Thursday, you guys will get to meet for a second time, Odie and Mariana.
Yep. We've had them on before. It's been a few years, but they're great.
Yeah, that was when they had The Order of the Minus, which was an amazing album.
Yep.
And I believe all of us, there might have been 4 of us who reviewed that one at the time, and we all liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And if you like that one, I think you're going to like this one. This is just a more mature version of that one, I think.
Yep.
So, cool. Anything else we need to talk about before we get started, Mr. Mundy?
I don't really have anything special. I had a pretty decent weekend, visited with a lot of family today, so good times.
Fun. And Mr. Mundy and I will be headed to Noblesville, Indiana in a few weeks to check out Pantera, which I'm still excited about because the musicians they added are amazing. So I'm excited. And Lamb of God.
Yeah.
So it should be a good night.
Yep. And the very next night, my wife and I are going to Brown County to see Ann Wilson of Heart. A little different.
just a tad. But no, it'd be cool though. That's fun.
Hell yeah. I'm excited. For my money, she is like the benchmark for female rock singers. So I'm very excited.
Love it. And I think she still has it.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. She sounds great.
Yeah. Well, good for you. That's going to be awesome. Well, I think we need to get started because this album, we want to take it, song by song. So we're going to take care of this challenge first. I believe you were the one who issued it, right? Or was this Teabags?
I think this might have been Teabags.
Well, Teabags is not here this evening, hoping for next week. But anyway, I guess the challenge essentially was to take a movie that already exists and then add songs as if you're making a soundtrack to that movie that makes sense. Is that the way you understood it?
Sort of. I interpreted what he said as adding a song into a movie.
Oh,
like
I may have added 6.
Yeah. So I have 3, but it's like this song goes into this movie, this song goes into this movie, that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, what we'll do is then we'll just go back and forth, and then I'll just finish off with my couple. So
here you go.
All right. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
You've got more, so you can.
Okay. So all of mine are for Star Wars Episode 4.
Okay.
I was going to do Empire. I was ready to roll, and then I I was listening to the Smiths, and I thought, oh my god, I got to do the first one. So my first song that I chose is "How Soon Is Now,"
Okay.
and the reason I chose it and for the scene is because if you remember in episode 4, Luke is whiny.
Yeah.
He's a little bitch, and Morrissey is whiny as well, so that
Sure.
kind of fit. And so as he's looking over the Dune Sea, and we got the twin suns, and you play "How Soon Is Now," the first line, "I am the sun and the air," fits perfectly. He's whiny. I love the whole thing. So that's how we're starting off. And then after that line, it sort of starts to fade a little bit because we go to one of those famous George Lucas wipes and go on to the next one. So, but anyway, my first one is the Smiths. "How Soon Is Now."
That fits. I think an edit of that would be interesting.
Yeah. Wait till you get to the rest of them. So, okay. What do you got?
So, as I said, I did this a little differently than that. So the first song I chose is a song called "The Small Hours." My first exposure to this song was Metallica doing a cover of it on the 598 EP, Garage Days. The original is by a band called Holocaust from 1983, and it is kind of like new wave of British heavy metal, kind of that vibe, but it's kind of spooky, kind of dark, very horror movie vibe. And I thought I could work that into probably Cabin in the Woods, because Cabin in the Woods, if you haven't seen it, it's really, really good, but it's kind of, tongue-in-cheek kind of satire of horror movies, while at the same time being a horror movie. So there's some creepy moments in there where I could probably lay this creepy song in underneath something.
What was the title of the song?
It's called "The Small Hours."
I don't know this song.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't know the original. Like, my first exposure was Metallica covering it. So.
Okay, so it's Holocaust is the name of the band.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm writing these down because I'm going to check it out.
Yeah. It's kind of creepy. The Metallica version's creepy. I think the original is even creepier.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Fun. I love it when I get to go find new music. My second one is when Luke and Uncle Owen are going to buy droids from the Jawas, and they come by in the sand crawlers and all that. Yep. And I chose Caravan from Rush.
Okay.
I think anything to do with the droids coming down and getting with C-3PO and R2 kind of fit with that, because it's like the outside world coming by, and got to jump on that caravan and get into the action. So, and I love that song. I was actually going to take the entirety of that album and put it to Star Wars, but then I thought, let's just do some other songs. So,
well, that would have got you out a little quicker, I guess.
True. So,
it's all Rush and Star Wars.
That's right. I'm normally pretty good about that. I haven't done any Rush for a while. All right, what do you got? What's your number 2?
Okay. One of my absolute favorite 90s metal bands, Wrathchild America, who later became a band called Souls at Zero. One of my favorites from the 90s. Heavy, awesome singer, good stuff. They have a song called Spy. That is literally, it's kind of like the lyrics are very film noirish, it's literally a song about a spy. But Wrathchild America, they have kind of this like humorous vibe to them. Like, they're not a joke band by any means, but if you watch their videos and stuff, they definitely have a sense of humor about them.
And a bit of camp.
Yeah, here and there, yes. So I thought this song "Spy" would work very well in the 1985 Chevy Chase Dan Aykroyd movie "Spies Like Us."
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
What is it? It's a dick fur. I love that joke. It's so horrible and stupid,
Yeah.
but it works so well in the movie.
Yep.
Great movie.
Yeah.
You're picking things I never would have thought about.
I ended up picking some obscure stuff. My third one's pretty famous, but it's not recent.
Gotcha. All right, I'm going to leave one at the end, and you can probably come in with some answers of your own because I was all over the place on it.
Okay.
But the next one I was thinking of, when Leia is with Tarkin and she's in her little cell and they bring the droid in, and all that kind of stuff. Perfect song, not to be played over everything, but sort of in the background is Just a Girl from No Time.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a rebellious girl thing
Yes.
because she kind of holds her own with Governor Tarkin and all that. So I thought that'd be kind of a cool background.
Yeah. A little bouncy for that, but
Hey, she was sassy.
The lyrics work for sure.
Yeah. All right.
I'm just a girl and nobody expects anything from me, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Very good.
And then I will lie to you so that you think you've beaten me.
Yes.
Dan Tulane. Sucker. All right, you may continue.
Okay, so my last one was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. And this would be 1981. So, I'd have been like 5-ish. Was Fox and the Hound from Disney. Absolutely love that movie. So the main title song from that is called The Best of Friends, performed by Pearl Bailey. And if you're familiar with this movie, you should be able to hear that song in your head a little bit. So I thought we should take that song out of that movie and drop it into, I can't remember exactly the scene. I don't remember where it is, but you can drop it into the movie Step Brothers when they're talking about the things that they like, and then they're like, did we just become best friends? And then boom,
Yeah.
Cue the music. We're the best of friends.
Nice. We should go do karate in the garage. That's fun. I didn't even think. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. That was my favorite one that I came up with.
No, that was a good one because it's clever and it was out of the box. That was really good.
Yeah.
If anybody else who's watching right now has any songs they would like to drop into movies that exist, put them down here. Let's see what you got. Okay, so for my third one, this is a no-brainer. It's the trash compactor scene.
Okay.
And it's Steelers Wheel stuck in the middle with you.
Nice.
Because we got jokers over here shooting, trying to get out, the whole thing. So that was kind of a gimme. So I'm not really counting that one.
So that song kind of goes back to one of mine because Wrathchild America, they have a song, and you can find this video on YouTube. It's pretty funny. This is where their humor comes in that I was saying. They have a song called Surrounded by Idiots.
Mm-hmm.
And in the chorus, he actually borrows that line, clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am surrounded by idiots.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's funny that you chose that.
Nice. All comes together in the end.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Thank
stogie
you.
to chew on.
Thanks, Hannibal. Okay, so the final throne room scene.
Easy for you to say.
Bloop, we are the champions.
Okay.
Glorious moment, Queen. Can't go wrong there. The one I was really kind of working on is when the stormtroopers come through and the invader steps through onto the Tantive 4.
Okay.
And
like
so,
your first real shot of him.
Yeah, the first scene, there should be a great song as the Star Destroyer comes over the Tantive Fort, because your first thing is like this ship's big, but then the Star Destroyer just envelops it, which is really cool. And then they come blasting through there, and so like I was thinking, Killing in the Name Of works as he comes through there. Back in Black as Darth Vader steps in there. Inner Sandman, just for the music of it. But I was really struggling to come up with the perfect song as the stormtroopers sneak through and Vader steps through onto the Tantive Fort. Maybe that'll be a challenge for the future. What would be the perfect lead up to that?
I mean, all of those I think would work. I think Back in Black's a little, I don't know about, that's maybe a little too on the nose.
Yeah, but the music of it would be pretty cool, I think. I don't know. That's the one that gave me the most troubles. You would think the other ones would be more difficult, but that one, to come up with the perfect one. I think you want it to be perfect anyway, because Darth Vader is like one of the quintessential bad guys of movie history. So
yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, there it is. There's the challenge roundup.
I think it's hilarious that we did it two different ways, but it works still.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the cool thing too about making him, not quite as specific, as it does give you a little leeway to do that. Now, next week is pretty strict, right? Your challenge?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not really strict. My one thing is, and again, this is movie related. This was not really planned that we had two back-to-back movie related, but my only thing is, and I only need one. You can do more than one if you want, but just choose what, in your opinion, is a perfect movie moment. Absolutely flawless execution. It's a moment in the movie that like had to happen, and the way it happens is perfect. And I only wanted one, really, because I want to really kind of, when you choose your moment, I want to kind of discuss it, defend it. Why is it a perfect moment? All of that kind of stuff. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I will say what we just talked about with the Vader moment could easily have been my moment.
Oh, hands down. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I'm not going to do that.
I would go a step farther and say that his big moment in Rogue One, perfect. But that's not what I chose. I already have mine. So
I don't have mine yet, but I will.
Yep.
All right. Well, very cool. Okay. Well, now here comes the real work of the episode. And this is where we review a new record. And this week is Project Renegade's Ultra Terra. And what is it? 13 songs?
Yes. Well, I mean, 12 songs and an intro.
And I call that a song, because the intro really does set the tone. And I like how they started this one. It reminds me a lot of like a Slipknot record where you intro with just some sounds or something like that. And it fits perfectly too, because they do a lot of sampling of audio.
Yes.
Which I kind of dig. I think it's kind of cool. The big boss in the first one really got me.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. So,
yeah.
But anyway, let's dig in. Let's do it song by song. Opener, closer, give it a score. So, Critical Mutations is the first song. What'd you think?
It's pretty cool. It's like a seconds over like a minute and a half little intro. It's really, it kind of lays out like sounds like synthy electronic, just kind of lays a little bit of groundwork. Towards the end, it kind of starts like pulsing a little more rhythmically, and then it kind of shuts off and then goes into the next song. So I think it works. Are we calling this an opener or?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think what you said there at the end, where it pulses and that beat leads you into the next song, I think that's where it's a perfect opener.
Yeah.
It's there for a reason. You just don't randomly place those there. So I think as an opener. Now, if we want to talk about an opening song that sets the theme for the record, I think 23 absolutely thematically is killer for this record. I think obviously the title of the group, Project Renegade, you've got renegades, right? People who are rebelling, and it really feels like this record is an indictment of those in power.
Yes.
And I think we all know that Greece has had a lot of turmoil over the past few years. And I'm hoping we talk to them and get a little bit more in depth with that. But
Yep.
I think this song is perfect as an opener for a song that is really hard hitting and really holds those accountable. Causing the problems.
I agree 100%. The opening groove is real solid. Kind of has like this real cool kind of, it's not really singing, more kind of vocalizing, kind of way off in the distance. You kind of hear it. The samples that you mentioned, like there's some cool spoken samples they pulled from somewhere. Very cool. The song has an absolutely fantastic breakdown, which happens several times throughout this album. And we also hear some stutter edits, and they use that here and there through the album. I think they use it just enough without overusing it. But, it's just kind of one of those cool effects that you can throw at a song.
Yeah, I agree. All of that. And like a lot of these songs, the chorus just has a great melodic hook.
Yes.
And Mariana really just nails those choruses. And some of the lyrics that, right off the bat, your minds have been infected with greed that suffocates. Like, it's all about greed at the top. And then those people who are the citizens are betrayed in need, helpless, and unprotected. So it's like they're fighting for those who can't fight for themselves.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And one of the voiceover things that you had mentioned talked about small fires can become raging inferno. So as we put our voices together and we come together, maybe we can do great big things.
Yeah.
I like that concept. So.
Those lyrics that you just mentioned, I think that, goes back perfectly to the situation that Greece is in. It's kind of what it boils down to, is the people at the top they keep gaining more and more power and money, and the people are left in the average people are left in their wake.
Yep. It's kind of the same everywhere, right?
The
1%.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Whew. Yeah.
But okay. I think Greece as a country is small enough that it's you can really see it there.
Yeah, it's sad. I really do want to kind of get into more of the details when we talk to him. But
yeah.
Okay, well, that brings us into the next song, which is the Millennial March. And this is one of my top couple favorites on the record. What do you think?
Yeah, I could easily agree with that. I think this song, I didn't hear it as much on 23, but this song has like a real nasty, awesome bass tone, kind of more up front. I think Mariana does this a lot, but she kind of layers her vocals in different ways for, kind of build something up, make it sound bigger or stronger or whatever. But she used that very well on this song. And at the 3:58 mark in Millennial March, there's an absolutely insane groove that they drop, and it is I am here for that all day.
Yeah, I love the structure of this song. It kind of it's not your standard fare, which I really dig. And I like there's like a background choral element backing her vocals, which is really cool. And the message, the millennials, obviously, I'm in charge of a school, so I have lots of little quibbles with kids, in general, with the younger kids today. But the message here is definitely true, that they trapped us in this with no remorse. That's the line. It's about they inherited the mess. So you take kids who have no life experience and they don't have the skills to deal with all this yet, and then we blame them for being who they are when they didn't create this mess. They are way too young to have gotten us in the messes that we're in. They're dealing with it the only way they know how. And so I really love that message.
Yes. And that I think, is a, kind of an ongoing cyclical thing. That's
Mhm.
every generation has to deal what they're left with by the previous generation.
Mhm.
So, and
And every older generation blames the younger generation for being,
right.
not taking things seriously, not working hard enough, and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. And
Yeah.
they deal with things how they can, and they definitely are not equipped to deal with the world that they've inherited. That's for sure. I don't know that
Yeah.
anyone is. So love that message. Next one is Apex. What'd you think?
The opening sounds kind of little prog. Got a little prog sound going on there. The chorus I think is really cool. It's got it's not as heavy, I think, as a lot of this album. And of course, I mean, this is going to be said over and over again. Mariana just absolutely slays on this song. But yeah, the chorus really caught my ear. Is this song stands out because it's just a little different than everything else.
Yeah, agreed. And I like it because this one kind of deals with that question: is it too late to change, to do something about it? With every dawn, we're spiraling down to the ultimate defeat. So, do we cross the line, or do we change this path of war? So, as we close in on that point of no return, what do we do at this apex? And I like that they're questioning that. Every song here has got a major point, which I love. There's no fluff in the album at all.
Oh yeah.
And I agree with everything you said musically. Very strong song.
Yeah.
And different, but similar. I think anytime you tie the song together with her voice, it's going to have a similarity to it because she's very distinctive, and I love it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Now this one, the next one is The Fix Is In. We did this one on a little mini episode months ago.
Yes.
If you remember.
Yep.
And I think we both liked it.
Yeah, it's a great song. Yeah, we've had this one for a while. So, but we knew, I mean, we've had two songs for a while and we knew they were going to be on this album. Pretty cool. I don't know. I'm not a musician, so forgive me if I say something that sounds stupid. But I groove is just the word that comes to my mind so often. And this one, super cool groove with lots of slides on the guitar neck, lots of harmonics, like pinch harmonics and stuff, which I absolutely love. I'm a sucker for that. Zach Wilde uses those a lot. Tommy Victor and Prong uses those a lot. Love the pinch harmonics. And the chorus has kind of her cadence. What I wrote down is kind of like almost like vocal acrobatics because she's kind of up and down and all over the place. And it's just really, really fun to listen to.
It is for sure. And again, it fits right in with the theme, right? Those in power have us right where they want us, right? The fix is in. There's not much you can do about it. And every time I hear it, I just can't help but think of a junkyard with cars.
Oh yeah, the video, yeah,
the video, yeah,
absolutely.
It just plays back for me.
And when I listen on Spotify, like it puts a picture of whatever you're listening to, the band, and that it's still on Spotify is the still image from them in the junkyard and stuff. It's pretty cool.
It is cool. That's a great song.
Yeah.
It didn't hit as hard this time simply because I'd listened to it so much before.
Sure.
But Time Wave is the next song. Absolutely love this song. Yep. It's got a really hard intro. He really kicks it with some double bass, got a catchy chorus again. And then I love this. You just make most of your time, right? Seconds are counting down. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I love that aspect of the song. She is super strong all over the place on this one again. Time Wave's great.
Yeah, I love the intro to this one. As you said, Odie is just slaying it on the drums on this song. It's got kind of a little bit of a bouncy riff, kind of, and there's some starts and stops in there that are pretty cool. And the background kind of, I don't know what to call it other than like electronics. whatever, but the noises and the programming in the background are really, they add something without overpowering in this song. I think they sound really nice.
Yeah, it's very subtle. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of, like with the new metal or whatever, sometimes that kind of like overtook things, the scratching and those things kind of overwhelmed a little bit. Here, I think everything is very subtle, very modest, and just really adds to the whole effect. So I dug that. And I'm going to let you talk about the next one because it's an absolute banger. My Oath. Go for it.
I mean, that's pretty much the only note I wrote down. Banger, exclamation point. But yeah, it's so good. It's just, I mean, it comes out swinging fast. There's not a lot of tempo changes in this one. And I think it's kind of a shorter song, if I remember correctly. And
there aren't any that are super long.
Right. Well, there's some that are like over 5 or 6 minutes, but this one I think is shorter if I remember right. But it's
322.
Yeah. So it's, I mean, in and out, melt your face off and we're gone. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, and it is angry, and like you will beg for me to stop. Like you bring it,
love that line.
I will bring it back tenfold, and you
love
will pay.
That line.
Yeah, it's a great one. The next one is Civil Unrest, and this is another really strong song. Thematically fits in, but I like her voice on this, talking about, and it's the back and forth from line to line, where it's like time for a new awakening because we rise, you're weakening. But the way she sings those two lines back and forth is just really cool. And the chorus is so awesome. I love this song. I think this one's a really good one. And I just think it, like, the middle parts of records, we always talk about, there's kind of the slog where you get songs that aren't really like, they're just okay. No, this song is fire, and it's right in the middle. I love it.
This honestly, like the whole second half of this album, I think really picks up and delivers. If I had to do like a side A, side B, side B is way more for me. I mean, I love it all, but side B is my favorite, I'll say.
No,
that's my favorite kid,
No, I would not disagree with you.
But yeah, so on Civil Unrest, like I like the mic check at the beginning is just kind of fun. Her cadence, like you were saying, I mean, you're kind of saying how she delivers the words, on like her cadence on how she speaks and sings in this song. I love. Great riffs throughout it. The ending's really cool. It's just a really, really good song.
Yep. And then if we don't think that one's good enough, Token comes next. Not only is an amazing song, and she screams to beat the band to start this one, but it also has an amazing video.
So cool.
Super high tech, like a video game song. It is fantastic. I love it. Yeah.
The video is so awesome. I saw that before I got to listen to the whole album. So yeah, if anyone listening, if you have not seen the video for Token by Project Renegade, go watch it. It's amazing. We'll be here when you get back. But yeah, I mean, Mari comes in hot, just screaming, and it's hard and heavy. The electronic elements in this one are absolutely flawless. I mean, it's just super solid song and angry.
Okay, I'm posting right now in the comments the link in case anybody wants to check that out. It should be posting. Yeah, because I want to, now that we say it, I want people to be able to check it out. It is so good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I didn't know that those sounds could come out of her. She's working a sword. She's screaming. The whole thing, man.
I think, excuse me. Water had bones in it. I think she posted the video or something on her Facebook, and I was like, holy cow, like the sick moves. Where'd you learn that? It's pretty funny. But she, does a lot of sword fighting and stuff in the video. Is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's excellent. The next one is Negative Gray.
Interesting title.
It is. But I really like the drums on this one. That was really cool. And then this one, I feel like this is the most dismal of all the songs on the record. It's like we're in a downward spiral. Everything is lost, but there's no real uplifting element. There's no like, let's get the band together and take care of business kind of thing. It just feels like a real downer. I don't know. Maybe that's just where she was when she wrote it, but cool song. I mean,
we all have those kind of days and get in a funk every now and then. And, I'm glad she's got her music to get that out of her and express that. This song, I also made a note of Odie's drumming, really solid on this one. I love the kind of a bridge section because they did it a couple times, like go verse, bridge, chorus, and the bridge in this song, kind of picks up the pace and has some really cool growling backing vocals. And I don't know. I don't think that's Mariana. It might be Odie or one of the other guys. I'm not sure, but it works here. I like it a lot.
It's a question we'll ask when we have
sure
the
will.
Show. So that brings us to, this was the other one that was released months ago called Blood Witch. And that's the shirt you bought, right?
Yep.
Blood Witch shirt. Yeah.
Yes.
So we've already talked about this song, but it's an excellent song. And now, in the context of the record, it almost feels like an answer to Negative Gray.
Okay.
In some way. And the interesting thing is the opening really reminded me a little bit of a Slipknot opening.
Okay.
With the odd, I don't know, it was keyboard effects, I think, which I dug the opening on this one. And this one also had a very powerful chorus, which I love.
Yeah.
Just a cool song.
I like, the title is Blood Witch, and the lyrics bring up several times, including in the intro, she kind of whispers the secrets in the blood. And I think that's some really cool imagery. It can bring all kinds of things to mind. But there are secrets in the blood. Love it.
Yep. Very cool song. Check it out. And that one has video as well.
Yep.
Now, the penultimate song is Ultra Terra. And this one seems to be about false prophets, empty answers. Looking to heaven is not going to be their answer. And essentially, it feels like perhaps in Greece, they feel like the government is trying to keep them passive and just accepting the status quo. And it really, when I was listening to this, it reminded me of a Chuck D line where he said basically in the poor neighborhoods that on the corners, the liquor stores and the churches were there to keep them poor. And I just always thought that was such an interesting thought. And then when you go deeper into it, you realize there's certain truth to that. And then that you hear this song and it really made that connection for me. And I don't know exactly what's going on in Greece. I know there's a separation of the rich and the poor, and I want to find out more. But it kind of gave me that whole, we're just pacifying people, so they just accept what's given to them. And I don't know. I like that sentiment in this song. So hopefully I'm right. If not, Odie can yell at me.
Because, he's such a jerk.
He is. No, he's not. Nicest guy ever.
Yeah, some really monster riffs in this one. And, just Mariana, just really strong. This has a good balance of her strength and the beauty of her voice. There's both of that kind of, rolls into something really, really cool here.
Yeah, I love it. That was a great. And so I guess we need to preface. So we're coming up to the album closer, right? And so this has been one hard ass album. And so the whole time I'm listening to this, I'm thinking to myself, they need a ballad. They need an acoustic song. They need, like, when they did.
I didn't go there. I did not go there. Actually, when I was listening to, we're talking about the final song is called "No Country for White Flags." Absolutely amazing title. I love that. The idea, the imagery that kind of conjures. But I didn't think that going into this song, but as it's starting, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. And it just, but I'm like waiting for the turn. I'm waiting for it to get hard and come in and like, knock my head off. And it never
I
did.
wasn't thinking that we needed a ballad right before this song came on. It was about midway through. I was thinking, man, this would be the perfect, somewhere
break
in
it
there,
up.
Kind of like when they did Respirator in Quarantine, and they had, oh God, that was so cool,
Yeah.
And just to break up the barrage that they had. And then this song hit. And for me, this is the best album closer I've heard in a long time.
I agree.
It is so freaking amazing. And her voice is just beautiful. And on the background, like on the chorus, we got these cool little soft drum rolls from Odie, like where he's just pounding and just has the driving beat in these other songs. It's so soft and just it flows right behind her voice. It's so beautiful.
Yes. So I was not ready for this song. I was not ready. Like I heard it start and I'm like, oh, pretty. And, like I said, I was kind of waiting for it to kick in to overdrive and it never did. So then I'm like kind of digging into it. And man, her vocal control is, it's all here. Like it is so, so beautiful. And yeah, the drums, it's almost kind of reminded me of like a kind of a little military, with the snare and kind of, but it was back in the background. It didn't come out front. It was perfectly placed. And this song just took me completely by surprise. And I'm not gonna lie, I got a little misty. I was so impressed and so taken aback. I was like, "Whoa!" And her voice on this song is like, Amy Lee vibes. It's so beautiful. So, and I sent Mariana a message after I heard this song, and I was like, "Oh my God!" So, yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. It is. And again, it closes the album thematically, the affirmation that they're going to keep fighting.
Yeah.
Hand in hand, side by side, they're not giving up, which, you need that. This country is not giving up. They're not flying the white flag. We will continue fighting for our country. I love that. Just amazing.
That love title, that just No Country for White Flags. So perfect.
Yeah. People need to listen to this song, listen to this record, and they'll catch on. They're amazing. Yeah. So, all right, Mr. Mundy, what do you think? What's your score? Will you listen again?
Is that a real question?
Yes, because we have to do it.
So, yes, I will be listening again and again and again, I'm sure. Yeah, when these guys first came onto our radar, I don't even remember how that happened exactly.
I know how it was. I reached out to somebody through.
Yes, that's what I was
Costas
thinking.
Solomitas. Somebody, yes. Yeah.
I was thinking it was something like that, but yeah. So since we have first heard them, and I honestly, if you go back and listen to their early stuff, and then listen to their last album, and then listen to this album. You can hear their growth. Mm-hmm. They have gotten so much better. They just continue to improve. And good Lord, if this is what we're going to keep getting from them, I wish they would hit it huge because, they're a great band. They're good people. Absolutely love it. And I would give this album 4.5 out of 5. Easily.
Yeah. I hit all of your sentiments for sure. Yeah, you look at the progression and you're right. And it's not even like I love the last album. Order of the
Yeah.
Minus
Oh,
was
yeah.
fantastic. But there's just something where you just feel like seasoned veteran. Like this album,
Mm-hmm.
everything is just polished now. You know,
They've
and
obviously turned some kind of corner, and I
Mhm.
mean, just improving.
Yeah, and I think even structurally, the album from beginning to end just totally makes sense thematically. The last song, I'm just telling you, I haven't heard a closer on an album this good in forever. Sometimes people leave clunkers for the end, like people won't finish the record. This one bookends it beautifully, and
Absolutely.
it might be my favorite song on the album because it is beautiful. The message is crazy amazing. And then I love the Millennial March. Is probably another one of my top favorites. And Civil Unrest. Those are probably my top 3 favorite songs on there. And there's just like there's a little something for everybody. You know what I mean? It's heavy, but then there's melodic, beautiful singing. Like there's a little bit of everything. So you really can't call it metal, but it's metal.
Yeah.
You can't, you know what I mean? Like there's a poppy element to it. It's just
Industrial, a little bit of an industrial
Yeah.
feel on some of the songs.
a little synth wave here and there.
and then that closer is, whew, man.
Yeah, just amazing. So I would probably go same 4.5 out of 5. And will I listen again? Of course I will. So I've already listened to it from beginning to end at least 6 times. So
Yep.
it's on. And then next Thursday, hopefully, if we can work this out, we'll have Odie and Mariana on the show and all kinds of questions for them about this record.
Yeah. That's I hope we can make that happen. The time difference is, kind of a killer. So if for us, if we do make that happen, we'll be going on way early. So
Yeah, we're looking at 3 or 4 start to do that. But of course, it's going to be a podcast, so you can check it anytime that you
it'll be
want.
there forever.
Be there forever. So, all right, Mundy. Next week, you know what we have?
Yeah, I do.
Dang it. Do you dislike him that much?
No, I don't dislike them really. I just what I've heard of this new album so far.
Do you see them as Led
hasn't
Zeppelin
impressed
light?
No, I don't do that. I don't like. I understand that comparison, but
The first couple of songs,
yes,
when they first came out, it was like,
Yeah.
oh, there it is.
I mean,
but
you
yeah.
hear that kid sing, and you're like, oh my god, it's the second coming of Robert Plant, and how can you not hear that? But
Right.
you dig a little deeper, and it's way more than that. So
Yeah, and I will say, after watching, my daughter makes me watch a lot of videos. The musicianship of the group they're really strong.
oh yeah,
Like, especially his brother, who's the lead guitarist. He's excellent. He's really good. And
Yeah.
Josh, the lead singer, he does have an amazing voice. So there's no doubting that. But those 2 things alone do not make a good album. So we will dig in and find out if Greta Van Fleet can produce an excellent record. And we will also be tackling perfect movie moments next week. Did we miss anything, Mr. Mundy?
I don't believe so. I think we covered everything we needed to cover.
All right. Well, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be seeing lots of shows. So you're probably going to want to find out where we are on the socials. Mr. Mundy, where can people find you?
Easiest place is on Instagram. It's just my handle from the show at Metalhead Mundy, Mundy.
Excellent. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and now Threads because it was linked to Instagram. So
Okay.
I kind of hope that catches on because Twitter is doing a lot of dumb crap. So
I mean, from what I'm seeing, Threads has hit like over 100 million users in like 5 days. So I mean, it's people are at least checking it out. Whether they stick with it or not, we'll see.
yeah, if everybody goes there, I will definitely jump on board. The Twitter stuff with being able to only see a certain number of posts per day unless you pay is just kind of silly. I can't imagine that advertisers are going to like that.
Yeah.
But I love Twitter. I love the connections I've made with, creators on there. But if they all go to Instagram's Threads, I'll do that too. So excellent. Oh, by the way, I'm Foggy's pal on there. In case you didn't know. All right. Well, I'm excited. I'm hoping that we will be back next Sunday or Monday for Greta, but I'm really hoping Thursday will be with Odie and Mariana. So stay tuned for those updates. And until then, we'll see you later. Bye now.